slicing is the #1 swing problem for most amateurs. There are a variety of reasons for it, but the major reason for it is what's known as is because they have a sort of a loop in their swing, or a casting motion. So the ball comes back, the club comes back in there, out and down. So they loop, club comes across the ball, where you go. So if you walk along a driving range with a lot of sort of high handicappers there, you will watch looping motion after looping motion after looping motion. It's incredibly common, and it's worth watching a few swings just to see how prevalent this is, because the problem is you won't feel that you're doing it yourself very often. I did it quite a lot to begin with, and I didn't believe that I was doing it properly, so I felt that no matter how hard I tried, I felt that I was going up in that path and coming straight down in the same path. But like everybody else, I was doing that looping, and that was causing a slice in the early days. So the best cure that I found for this is this contraption, which is also known as the flashlight drill. But what you have is two flashlights, one pointing down the ways and one pointing up the ways. Now what I use here these are actually torches, but they have a little laser pointer on them as well. So the laser pointer goes, this one points up, that one points down. Now the way that this works is, when you swing, the laser that points down will trace out the arc of your club up like that, and it'll go up in the air, and as it moves away, this one will start to trace the arc in the ground. And then you'll come down and you'll see this laser pointer on the ground, and at impact, effectively it crosses over. So what you're trying to do is, when you start this, if you are casting, if you are looping, you will notice this. You'll notice this loop traced out in the ground, clear as day, because the way that the lasers or the torches, lasers are better. You can use little tiny laser pointers, are probably the easiest thing to use. But they will trace out this loop, and you'll immediately know, without a pro having to tell you, or your mates having to tell you, or just thinking, I wonder what I'm doing, you will immediately see if you have a problem with your swing playing. So then what you do is you just keep working away until you feel the two lines blending together. So you just end up with one swishing laser pointer move backwards and forwards, rather than any sort of a loop. And if you start to go the other way, which can sometimes tend to cause a hook, which was a problem that I had, you can then cure that too. So you just go back. I used to use this inside. Yeah, I think it was this very club that broke the light shade halfway through the year, which caused me a few problems. But we're all friends now. But so the point is, whatever's wrong with your swing playing can be easily found, and you can just stand there in a darkened room and watch these lights in a nice, clean, one path the whole way through. And if you're moving either way, it will immediately be identified. It's an extremely useful drill, and it's an extremely, almost immediate way to cure any form of a slice. So this was the only thing that finally convinced me that I did have a problem. I used to stand in front of mirrors all the time. I was always trying to work out what was wrong. I was being told by my pro that I was making mistakes. But when I did this, it became graphically clear what the problem was. And it also meant that I was very quickly able to just turn it into these clear lines, because sometimes you have to prove these things to yourself. And this is an incredibly efficient way to prove this to yourself for the price of a little bit of tape and a couple of torches. So if you have a problem slicing, I would say there's a very good chance because you've got a loop in your swing, and this is the cure. It's as simple as that.